We've all been there, sitting on the couch or lying in bed, scrolling mindlessly while your to-do list stares at you from across the room. Deadlines are coming up, your workload is piling up, but instead of starting, you're watching YouTube videos, hoping for some magic trick to pull you out of bed. But here's the thing, you're not lazy, you're just stuck. You've built a habit of avoiding discomfort, even the slightest inconvenience. And the good news, breaking out of this cycle is easier than you think. First off, let's get this straight. You're not lazy. You're procrastinating, and procrastination is just avoidance. You're not staring at your work for hours because you can't do it. You're avoiding it because you think it'll be uncomfortable. Think about it. When you push off an assignment or a task, is it because it's truly impossible, or is it because a little voice in your head keeps saying, "I'll do it later"? Your brain convinces you that tasks are too hard, too boring, or too overwhelming. So instead of tackling them now, you push them off. But that doesn't make them disappear. It just piles on more stress. You trade a little bit of relief now for a much bigger problem later, and the longer you wait, the more pressure builds up, making everything feel worse. To actually fix this, you have to understand why you're procrastinating in the first place. Most of the time, the task itself isn't even the real problem. It's your mindset about it. The issue isn't that you can't do it, but that the thought of starting feels overwhelming. Procrastination is a mental game. The longer you sit around thinking about what you have to do, the bigger and more difficult it feels. It's like that monster under your bed as a kid. It's only scary because you refuse to look. But have you ever started something and thought, "Oh, this isn't as bad as I imagined"? That's because once you take the first step, the next one is easier. The hardest part isn't the task itself. It's convincing yourself to begin. But here's the good news. Getting past that resistance is much easier than you think. The solution is simple. Just start. I know that might sound too obvious, but it works. Every procrastinator knows that starting is the hardest part, so make it easy for yourself. Start small. Your brain resists big, overwhelming tasks, but when something feels easy, you're more likely to do it. Tell yourself, "I'll just do this for 5 minutes." 5 minutes sounds like nothing, so your brain won't resist it. But once you start, momentum kicks in, and 9 times out of 10, you won't feel like stopping. Always start with the easiest part. If you need to write something, begin with an outline. If you need to read, start with the simplest section. The goal is to create momentum, because once you're in motion, staying in motion is easy. Stop multitasking. Multitasking is a procrastinator's best friend. It feels like you're getting things done, but all you're really doing is switching between distractions. It splits your attention and slows you down. Stop juggling 5 things at once. Pick one task, start it, and finish it before moving on. That's how you actually get things done. Once you enter a flow state, distractions become irrelevant. Put your phone away, eliminate interruptions, and just focus. You can take short breaks to avoid burnout, but otherwise, lock in. Stop making excuses. Anyone can come up with a great-sounding excuse to do nothing, but at the end of the day, excuses don't get things done unless something truly urgent comes up, which, let's be honest, is rare. You can start right now. Think of all the time wasted scrolling, watching random videos, or refreshing your feed. Imagine if that time was spent actually doing something. You'd be more productive, happier, and relieved. And no, you don't need motivation or inspiration. That's a myth. Discipline gets the job done. I don't know where to start. I'm too tired. This is too hard. All of these are just excuses. Drop them. Build momentum. Starting is great, but how do you keep going? Simple. Build momentum. Start small, be consistent, and let everything add up over time. Dedicate 15 minutes to the easy parts, then take a short 5-minute break. This eases your brain into work and helps you stay engaged. Once you cross the 15-minute mark, chances are you won't want to stop. Another trick? Set micro deadlines. If you tell yourself you need to finish something in 2 hours, you might drag it out. But if you give yourself 20 minutes to get started, you'll get more done in that time than you thought possible. Procrastination is a habit, so to break it, you need better habits. And habits are built through repetition. You don't need to overhaul your life overnight. Just commit to doing something every day. Want to study? Set aside a small block of time each day. Need to finish a project? Break it into chunks and tackle it piece by piece. Deadlines naturally make us more productive, so create your own urgency. Use the Pomodoro technique. Set a 25-minute timer, work, take a 5-minute break, then repeat. This mimics the pressure of an actual deadline, minus the last-minute panic. Hold yourself accountable. One of the best ways to stay focused is accountability. When you share your goals with someone, a friend, mentor, or family member, you feel more pressure to actually follow through. Find an accountability partner or join a community of people with similar goals. Sometimes, just knowing that someone else expects you to follow through is enough to keep you on track. Make work more rewarding. Your brain craves dopamine. That's why it's easy to scroll for hours. You get instant gratification, but you can hack this system by rewarding yourself after completing tasks. When you finish a task, treat yourself. Maybe it's a snack, a break, or something you enjoy. This rewires your brain to associate productivity with pleasure, making it easier to get things done in the future. Laziness isn't the problem. It's all about momentum. The hardest part is starting, but once you do, everything else gets easier. So stop overthinking it. Start small, keep going, and before you know it, you'll be crossing things off your list without even thinking about it.